ahead, it's rare to catch Louis without a smile on his face. Much like his best friend Harry, Louis loves pets and has a doggy.
First decision, yeah. That's the one.
But did you know his favorite film was Forrest Gump? And just like his favorite character, Louis has realized that life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. With an unusual phobia of birds, a result of being attacked by a pigeon whilst on the toilet, and no one could see that coming, Niall Horan is Ireland's answer to Justin Bieber, or so the residents of County Westmeath will say. Born on September 13th, 1993, Niall is the baby of the family, to Mother Maura and Father Bobby and older brother Greg. Once just a seasonal singer around the holidays, Niall was talent spotted by his aunt, who mistook Niall's dulcet tones for the radio, which Niall contributes as being outrageously cool. Niall remembers, quote, "The same thing happened to Michael Bublé with his dad. He's my absolute hero, so I like the fact we have a similar story."
During the show that they were on, Niall was almost like a little pet for me because he's just full of personality. He's a very cheeky chap. He loves to have a chat. He was always in and out of everywhere else instead of hanging out with the boys all the time. He was so curious. So he'd often be where he shouldn't be. So if I was in hair, you know, trying to talk to the girls who were having their hair done, Niall would be in there having a chat to one of the hairdressers about something. If I went to see Louis about one of his acts and what was going on, Niall would be in there having a chat with Jedward. But he was just one of these people who was everywhere having a chat with everyone about anything and everything. So friendly, so sweet, and just excited to be there.
His audition on the X Factor in 2010 didn't come with quite as much applause and appreciation as his fellow band members, with 2 of 4 judges voicing concerns about his vocal abilities. Again, Niall failed to impress during the boot camp stages when his rendition of Oasis's Champagne Supernova saw him booted off as a solo artist. The self-confessed quiet one of the band, Niall's blonde and classic Irish looks makes him a huge hit with his female admirers. Speaking of female admirers, Niall's idea of the perfect girl is relatively simple. Good sense of humor, nice eyes. He has even said he would date a fan, just as long as she, quote, didn't scream in my face all evening. She...
Not a big, like, I wouldn't say I've been on many dates. So I don't know, I like, you know, just chilling around at home watching a movie.
Unlike his fellow One Direction members, Liam Payne already knew what it was like to be put through the X Factor machine. And he went back for more. Having originally auditioned in 2008 when he was just 14 years old, Liam was rejected at the judges' houses by Simon Cowell, who said that he wasn't ready, and was advised to return in 2 years.
I actually remember Liam auditioning. He made it through boot camp and we took him to judges' homes. He made it to Simon's judges' house visit, which was in Barbados that year. And he was only 13 or 14, must have been 14, because I think we'd lowered the age limit to 14, and we had 3 or 4 boys that were really strong, really cute, great singers that were in judges' group that year. But when it came down to it, we still found they were just that little bit too young, just not ready. But he did a fantastic audition. I remember him very boldly singing straight into my eyes some love song, and it was like I was a teenage girl sitting there. If I'd been able to go red, I would have been bright red, because he literally sang this love song straight into my eyes, fearlessly, in this black trilby. He was so gorgeous, he sang so well, and I could just see he'd be a pop star heartthrob for teenage girls. But alas, Simon said he was just too young. And I remember begging him to come back. Please come back when you're 16, because you're such a little star.
A devastated and fragile Liam returned back to his hometown in Wolverhampton in the West Midlands and threw himself into his studies at the City of Wolverhampton College, where he enrolled as a music technology student. With a thirst to find out more about the music industry itself, Liam threw himself into his studies, spending most of his time developing his knowledge and skill set as a performer, but also into production. His serious attitude to music and his respect for the music business, Liam often gets mistaken for being the serious one, sometimes likened as being the Gary Barlow of the band. A misjudgment, according to his friends.
Because I'd met Liam 2 years before when he first auditioned, I felt close to him already, and I was just so pleased he was there. I remember at the time being so excited about him and willing him to come back, and then being so proud when he came back and nailed his second audition. I always understood how ambitious he was, how determined, how hardworking, how focused. I knew that Liam meant business, and anything you said to him, you never had to repeat it twice. He would walk away and come back and deliver.
Spending hours rehearsing for his X Factor comeback, Liam returned to the stage with his rendition of Michael Bublé's Cry Me a River, which received a standing ovation from both the crowd and indeed Simon. Having already failed at the X Factor once, Liam was devastated when his version of Stop Crying Your Heart Out wasn't enough to see him through as a solo artist. Little did he know what was just around the corner. Liam's favorite food is chocolate, anything ranging from a brownie to ice cream. However, he recently tweeted that he has a fear of spoons. Let's hope this fear does not hinder him from enjoying his favorite sweetie. Zayn Malik was a natural-born performer of all varieties. Noted by his school as being an incredible actor and talented singer, Zayn auditioned for the X Factor in 2010 for an experience. Born on January 12, 1993, Zayn has mixed heritage thanks to his English mother Trisha and British Pakistani father Yasser. Growing up with three sisters in Bradford, Zayn attended Lower Fields Primary School and Tonghai Comprehensive School, where he participated in the school's performing arts program and excelled, according to his teacher, Vicky Galloway Place, curriculum leader for performing arts.
I taught him acting, so he's an excellent actor. He always had this lovely voice, a really soulful voice, which really matured throughout his time at Tong. But he was a phenomenal actor. He could play any role you'd give him, and he didn't need a lot of direction from me, really. You'd go through the script, you'd give him a few ideas, and then he'd just go with it and always put his own take on it. What stood out about Zayn was his maturity. He came to us in year 8, and the answers he gave were phenomenal. He really thought about a performance as a whole performance and the different techniques you could use. And the things that he was throwing back at me, I think I would have expected a year 10 or 11 to say. So you get a feeling about students, and I knew that he was going to be something pretty special. I think Zayn's a born performer. The minute he gets on stage, he just goes for it and performs.
Zayn was quite shy on stage. And tended to sort of stay in the background a bit. But we discovered that he had this amazing soulful voice and could riff and everything, and was also a bit of a heartthrob. And another little girl in Bellamy was all over Zayn all the time. So it was quite hard to get both groups focused on being pop stars, because they were kind of living the pop star life in the hallways.
Unlike his fellow band members, it wasn't just singing that inspired him. Zayn auditioned on the X Factor in 2010 with visible nerves that almost got the better of him during the boot camp stage when he refused to participate in a dance sequence.
Zayn not too keen on having to do choreography and dance. You know, he's a soul singer, he's a bit of a dude and doesn't want to do anything that makes him feel silly or that he's making a fool of himself at all. Which is why I think it's hilarious that Simon even let them, or persuaded them to have a dance break in one of their videos when they do the stupid dance like that, and that's why they're doing it with that weird expression on their face as well, because it's like, don't really want to dance, but yeah, we'll do this. So taking the mickey out of the choreography. Brian Friedman would tell you more about that himself.
We had a huge disaster happen at boot camp where we did a dance challenge, and I had taught everyone this routine, and Zayn actually wouldn't do it. He disappeared from the stage, he ran off, went in the back, said, I'm not gonna do it, I don't dance, this isn't me, I can't do this. And as I'm calling the names out, and I call his name, he doesn't show up on the stage. And Simon was asking, you know, where is he? So Simon actually went in back and looked for him and gave him a talking to and told him he has to go out on stage. And he came out on stage, stood in the middle, danced, and ended up making it to the end and this huge success. So thinking that someone was actually gonna turn away and that opportunity to let it drop just because of a little challenge, I think is a story for everyone. You know, never turn away from anything that's standing in your way, because if you get over that hurdle, you could make success like they have.
Simon Cowell convinced Zane to return, and although he failed to make the boys category, Zane was chosen from several hopefuls to be one member of a new group. That group was One Direction. A self-confessed handful, Zane's best friend, Anthony Rial, recalls the antics they used to get up to growing up.
Knockadout Run was the furthest we went.
Being the only boy to 3 sisters, Donia, Walia, and Safa, Zane had always had a strong relationship and connection with his family, noted in the band as being the cute and sensual one. Zane's English mixed heritage and gorgeous dark features makes him one of the band's best noted eye candy. With One Direction quite literally taking on the world, there are few fears for Zane's future, but as teacher Vicky says, Zane will always have a place in the arts. Self-confessed vain Zane loves to make sure he is perfectly groomed at all times. He gives careful attention to every aspect of his appearance, therefore making him the last one out of the door every morning.
How many times a day does Zane look in the mirror?
10.
10? Zane? 10? I thought it'd be more than 10.
Mirror and other reflective surfaces.
Listen, when we're on tour, in the mirror.
10.
Come on, let's be serious. Oh, come on. Okay.
In 2010, the 5 boys applied as sole candidates for the 7th series of the UK X Factor. During the last phase of the auditions, guest judge Nicole Scherzinger suggested the lads become a group.
Could I ask you a quick One Direction question? One Direction? Now,
happy to think. You're welcome, One Direction and Simon Cowell.
They auditioned at judges' houses with Cowell, who brought along X Factor co-producer and stylist Sunita. Sunita remembers the first time she saw the boys at the house.
I wasn't on the boot camp stage of the auditions the year that One Direction were on X Factor. And I can remember Simon wanting me to deliberately be in the dark about the acts so that I would get the full impact at Judge's house, whereas he'd feel like maybe he was too close to things or he would see things differently to I would, but I'd come in with fresh eyes, fresh ears, see everything for the first time. So I was excited, and I was a bit disappointed that we had the groups, because historically the groups are always the worst category, and I remember being already on a bit of a downer thinking, you know, great, we've got groups this year, you know, couldn't you have swung it another way or given the groups to Louis? And he was like, no, we're going to be fine, we're going to be fine. Anyway, I turn up for the Judge's House's audition. I think I'm doing Black Wonder Woman outfit this year. And the groups are coming out, it's all very nice. There was some really good talent. I was pleasantly surprised. And then the boys came out and sang Natalie Imbruglia's Torn. And I remember just holding his hand so hard that my nails were actually going into his flesh just with the excitement of, oh my God, this is really good, this is really good, but I mean really good. And you know, you almost think competition's over. These are the winners, they're going to win the whole thing. We're so lucky, ha-ha, Louis, One Direction. That's all.
Once through to the live shows, a team of experts worked to give the boys a new look and tap into their natural talents.
It takes a team of experts from stylists to choreographers to get the boys ready for this kind of limelight.
I will not personally take credit for putting the boys together. However, I will take a lot of the credit for putting the boys together. Zane, Niall, and Harry were definitely on my list. And it seemed like everyone had their list of boys that they could see making a boy band out of. And when that list came together and merged and the best from everyone's list came together,